Small disclaimer, I blur the lines between entertainment and information. Use this guide at your own risk. Asphalt Legends Unite is a game. That's it. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the only guide you'll ever need for Asphalt Legends Unite, where I pretend to know everything and will prove to you that I know almost nothing. Asphalt Legends Unite, previously known as Asphalt 9 Legends, is a game where you run from the cops and destroy the cars of innocent civilians trying to win the race to pay off the debt to the most horrific entity to owe money to, the IRS. In this game, you can collect cars, race cars, destroy cars, and get mad at cars. What do you mean I need the Ford GT to play this level? The game has a really cool mechanic called microtransactions, where you use the celestial power of mom's credit card to get really cool cars. I play for free because I hate myself and swore to never spend money on a free game. I am also currently hard-locked halfway through Chapter 2. This is such a fun game. Let's get started on the first thing to know about this game. First things first is learning how to drive the car. Now, there are a myriad of different platforms this game is on. You could probably play it on a smart fridge. One of the cool things about this game is that depending on what platform you play on is how many ads the game shoves in your face. I play on Steam, which means I have 0 ads in the game, which is a nice break from playing on mobile. Also, some ads give you easier access to cooler cars, which is the one downside to playing on PC, because I have to earn cars the hard way. After picking what you want to play on, there are 2 different modes for driving, touch drive on and the superior form of driving. Now for playing with touch drive, there isn't too much to learn. It's just choosing different paths and tapping on the screen like a monkey whenever you jump from a ramp. For playing with touch drive off, you actually play the game. Keep in mind, the game says, that this is recommended for Asphalt 8 and veteran players, but if you want to actually play and win the game, you keep this on. The controls for having touch drive off is like your typical racing game, right trigger to go, left button for tricks, and the bottom button for nitro. You can probably change around the controls to best suit you, but I have no idea, as I've never been in the control settings. After you've figured out your controls, it's time to play. Now, there are quite a few game modes in this game, each good for different things. First, you have Career. This is the main game and can either be the most enjoyable or the least enjoyable game mode of this game. It just depends on which race it is and what types of race you have to play through. We'll talk about the different types of races later. In Career, you race through different tracks to earn different prizes, such as credits, tokens, card packs, and cards for certain cars. That's right, you don't earn cars in this game, you earn cards to unlock those cars, which is one of the most painful mechanics in this game, second to microtransactions, but also pretty rewarding. On a side note, let's talk about the garage real quick. The rarities are designated by the color behind the car. If it's blue, there's a good chance you could unlock it. Purple, you might get 1 or 2. Gold, yeah, don't get your hopes up, bud. The cars are also separated by classes, D, C, B, A, and S. These are good to know, especially since some of the cups in the Career require a certain class of car. The higher the class, the harder it is to unlock as well. Some of the cars that I've seen are downright impossible to unlock. I've saved you the trouble of looking it up, and some are locked behind paywalls, then released later to grind to unlock. Remember when I said I needed the Ford GT to play a certain level? Yeah, they do that a lot, and the Ford GT isn't even that hard to unlock. Please give me more cards for the Ford GT. There will be some levels that will tell you that they need a car that you haven't even seen in the game before, such as the Vencer Sarth. Second, you have multiplayer. This is the bread and butter of some players' lives. They will do nothing but play multiplayer. In the lower ranks, it's not too bad. That's the lower ranks. You will be beaten black and blue in the higher ranks. You will have a bad time. No matter how the developers have tried to balance multiplayer, it has always been a cesspool to climb. One tip to improve that I've heard from someone else is to not try to destroy the other player's cars, no matter how tempting it is. You lose speed and gain time doing so, which will give you a higher chance of losing. Following this tip will also make you less toxic of a player, which we need in this community. Next, you have the daily and special events. I'm putting these 2 together because they're pretty much the same. In daily events, you can get a lot of credits and a little amount of cards. I haven't seen a daily event give you a car in less than 2 moon cycles. Some cars are good to get from here, such as the Exotic Rides W70 and the Dodge Viper GTS. In special events, you can get a greater amount of cards if you know which ones to play. Some seasonal events and the showroom will give you a lot of cards and even give you outright cars for free, which activates my neurons. Other special events, such as Starway, are a pipe dream because they require you to have some of the rarest cars in the game to even access them. I've never even been able to access the Starway Special event. This next game mode isn't a game mode, but I put it here because it has its own tab like one. Welcome to the Unite Pass, because a free game wouldn't be complete without a battle pass of some kind. I know, some of you will whine and complain when you hear this, but it isn't too bad. You can get a single card for a whole tier in the pass, when cars usually require around 50 to get the car. Now you can whine and complain. Of course, if you spend money on the game like a consumer elite, you can get 15 cards per tier, but I torture myself to save my mom's credit card for the better expenses, such as betting on horse races. Now, it's time for the... In Asphalt Legends Unite, you have the three main types of races. First, you have Classic. This is the pedal-to-the-metal traditional racing. In this type of race, you will, of course, race against other cars, bots in career, and players in multiplayer. The humans that play the game are fallible, the bots are not. The bots in this game will calculate the best way to mess with you in the career mode, and they do a really good job. Sometimes they'll prioritize slowing you down to actually winning, and they succeed in making me drop my controller onto the hard floor because I'm just so done with the bots. Next, you have Hunted. In Hunted, you will either race against bots or race to get to the finish line in under a certain time. Also, there are always cops. If there is something to fuel a hatred for cops, it is the constant harassment from them in Asphalt Legends Unite. They will bend the laws of physics to destroy your car. They will spawn from the ether to destroy your car. They can and will stop you from finishing the race. You could be 97% through the track, then two cops spawn in and T-bone your car into the sidewall, destroying it and your hopes and dreams of finishing that race happy. This is such a fun game. Police officers also carry military-grade armor on their cars, meaning that you can't use a normal nitro boost to destroy them. You have to Beyblade your car to destroy them, or choose to chug through 40 bottles of nitrous oxide to shockwave. If I'm dropping the controller from playing Classic, then I'm throwing it at the wall with a force that could vaporize a solid when playing Hunted. This is such a fun game. Finally, you have Time Attack. This is the most zen type of race you will ever play. It's just you versus the clock. This race makes me as calm as a child sleeping because there's almost nothing that could go wrong except my own skill level holding me back. In all of the races, you will have subquests for those races that range from either just completing the race to getting 4 consecutive 360s mid-air with 9 different jumps, making the race almost impossible. Now, finally, we have... I wish that I didn't have to ever touch the shop, but there are some good portions. First tip, avoid the limited card packs. They are overpriced and have too much variety to be worth it. The only tabs that are worth even opening are Card Packs, Gauntlet, and the Legend Store. In Card Packs, you get free card packs every certain amount of time, and every time you level up, you get 5 free premium packs, which is pretty cool. In Gauntlet, you can spend your Gauntlet points on cards for cars, which is better than nothing, I guess. In Legend Store, you can use your hard-earned credits and tokens to get parts and cards, which help you progress the game. The cards that cost tokens are usually overpriced, but they give cards that you usually need. I almost never spend my tokens on cards unless it's for a car I actually need for a race. You'll also find a place to spend trade tokens here, but you earn those when you get cards for a completely maxed car. Now for the missions. These will be your greatest source of income for tokens. You can get tokens just from doing all of these missions. You can also get a free car from doing the daily goals, which is the Lamborghini Asterion. It's a pretty good car that you only need to hit the goal combo 8 times to get. Sponsorships will give you free cars and lots of cards for cars if you log in daily to unlock them, so I always recommend doing that. You'll also find your missions for the Unite Pass here. All in all, with all joking aside, the game's pretty fun. You can play it with friends, and by yourself if you have no friends, and it's very enjoyable and rewarding when you unlock another car. I would recommend getting this game, especially since it's free. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep your head up and watch the stars.